Hey, I'm Rebecca Balcarcel. Let's try to figure out the plot of Barn Burning, William Faulkner's short story. This is a deep and complex story, and it'll take 2 or 3 readings to really grasp it. But for now, let's just figure out the main events. I made a few notes, and I figured out there's about 10 major events to know about. Number 1. Sardi, the main character, and his father, Abner, are at a court proceeding that takes place just in a general store, not a courthouse. And in this proceeding, Abner is accused of burning a barn. Now, Abner is completely guilty, and Sardi knows that he's guilty. And they're lucky because the evidence is just circumstantial, and Abner's going to get away with this. They're told, you better get out of town. We don't want to see your face in this town again. But that's the only punishment. Now, scene number 2. This is when Abner and Sardi are leaving this court proceeding. They walk out and somebody insults the father. So Sardi, being a loyal son, decides to fight this kid who's insulting his dad. Sardi's trying to prove his loyalty here to the family. Alright, event number 3. The family has left town. They're camping out in the, wilderness. And Abner takes his son aside. He hits Sardi because Abner thinks that Sardi is not loyal enough to the family and that he needs to learn now that family loyalty is what matters most. Event number 4. The family arrives at the new place. Now the new place is yet another farm where they will do farm work, planting, harvesting, and where someone else owns the land. Now this is called sharecropping. The owner of the land lives in a big house, and his name is Major Despain. The event here is that Abner and Sardi walk up to Despain's house, and as they're walking, Abner steps in manure, and when they arrive at the house, Abner smears this manure on Major Despain's rug. Now, ruining this rug is a pivotal moment in the story. It shows Abner hates the rich, and he ruins the rug on purpose. Now, the next scene is when this rug is brought to Abner to clean. The women of the family try to clean it, but they don't do a very good job. And then Abner, who sees that it's completely not working, ruins the rug even more. The next scene is really unusual. Weirdly, Abner decides to sue Major Despain, his landowner boss, because Major Despain has said, you ruined my rug, and you need to pay me 20 bushels of corn. And Abner says, oh no, I didn't ruin your rug, or if I did, I cleaned it, just like I said I would, so I shouldn't have to pay you anything. So the scene in court here is the landowner being sued by his tenant. Now, Abner does not have to pay the 20 bushels. The judge decides he will pay 10 bushels. But he's pretty angry about this still. Now, the next event is just Sardi, Abner, and the older brother hanging out in town. This is strange because they should be back on the farm working. So it's suspicious that Abner's decided to just do some errands in town, fix up the wagon and such. The next scene is Abner at home with Sardi. The family's eating supper. Nightfall comes, and finally we realize what Abner's up to. He is going to burn Despain's barn. He sends Sardi to get some oil. Sardi runs off to get the oil, and as he's running it occurs to him, what if I just kept running? But he doesn't. He comes back with the oil. Now, his father is going to burn the barn. His father, Abner, knows that Sardi is not completely on board with this plan. So Abner tells the mother, you hold your son down. Hold this boy, don't let him get away. He might warn Despain. Well, the next moment is the climax of the whole story. Sardi does break free from his mother's grip. He does run to the big house and warn Despain about the barn burning. Despain can't catch Sardi, though, and Sardi runs away. In fact, he runs off the property. As he's running, he hears 2 gunshots. One shot is probably killing his father, at least hitting his father. The other shot might very well be his brother dying. Sardi runs and keeps running, and at the end of the story, we find him alone in the woods. In the final scene, he's crying and thinking about his father, hoping that this man wasn't completely bad. He's trying to remember one good thing about his dad, basically. And this well-meaning kid who has a conscience has turned his back on his family and perhaps gotten 2 of his family members killed. So it's a tragic ending. We are clapping for Sardi that he followed his conscience, but we know his life is going to be very hard. He's a young kid, alone, out in the woods, and who knows what will happen to him next. So I hope you'll join me in another video to learn more about this story.